To another episode of Let's Play Titan Quest Series 2. We are here on episode 7. I'm surprised I didn't go say, my name is Let's Play Titan Quest episode 2. Episode 7. silly tree. Silly tree. I apologize for the late start. I was having some technical difficulties the Streamlabs chatbot just doesn't seem to want to work today, so that is a huge pain in the butt. At first, I thought it was me on my end, and so I went. I was getting set up, ready to go, and things just didn't go, and then I was like, screw it. I'll just go ahead and reboot because it might, it's one of those things where if you reboot your system, it will help fix the problem. So I rebooted, all that jazz. Turns out that it didn't come back up. It didn't reconnect like I expected to. This is by the by for the bot, Streamlabs chatbot, the bot. If I do what to do is say exclamation point hype train. The stuff like that, to my understanding. And so basically, and then I was like, when I wasn't connecting, second time, I was like, screw it. We'll just go live and have to do things somewhat old school. So I apologize for that. But, and as I was getting set back up after the reboot, I noticed some of the stuff on the tweets saying, hey, it's not folks on your end, it's us on our end. And I was like, great! Why didn't you do this sooner? Why didn't you say something sooner, dudes? So anyway, enough about that. I appreciate everybody who has come out. If you're watching here on twitch.tv/OsageOrange, I please hope that you'll go ahead and hit that follow button. Be much appreciated. If you are watching over on YouTube at youtube.com/OsageOrangeGaming, please remember to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. Then, of course, please also remember to check me out on the Twits over at twitter.com/OsageOrange01. So, let me go ahead here and pull up the game. Let's see, there is that. Here is this. Boom. There's that. Now I have changed the outlay of my my various goals, stream goals. You'll notice that I used to have them right up here along the top of the screen. Well, but now we got them to the left and to the right. So that way they are a little more in line with like the BSS7 logo down here and my brandy sniffer down here. Alright, so let's see. We need to hop into Coriana for just a second, because we need to get ourselves some potions. Let's go over here to Asgard. We're gonna go ahead and get the money there in the hall, where part of the hall, Valhall, where we fought Odin and company. And then we're going to transfer some of our XP potions over. It's a case of I meant to do something about that before streams, but I had to go take care of some IRL stuff and didn't want to have to. Didn't want to have to worry about that IRL stuff. I wish.
Welcome to the fifth realm.
But
I hope you brought something interesting.
But unfortunately, I had to go take care of it. So I couldn't get all the stuff
Yes,
that I wanted taken care of here with Titan Quest as I should have liked. Let's see. Yes, you wish you was a cider. Whoa, excuse me. Go over here to Imhotep. Let's see. I'm just gonna give. Let me see if I can get a height command. Let's see. Let me see here if I can get a. Yep. Bot really is broken. Let's see here. I'm gonna try it here on my end. Chatbot isn't even working at all. Oh gosh darn it! Why? Why? Well, I guess that means I get the chance to watch my stuff here. I mean, it works on my laptop, but it's a case of so you can hear duh. So yeah, the decision to move my stuff here to the left and the right, respectively, was inspired by some of the folks I watch, because it's in a way it does make a lot of sense.
Which land are these items from?
I was hoping, as I said, I was hoping to be able to do yeah. Basically, I was hoping to be able to get some stuff done. Let's see.
Don't worry.
Alright, let's see how much money I have. Just gonna take a few
Welcome,
rounds.
traveler. I am what you would call a grand meat. If you seek the thrill of the betting, I can provide. For a coin or two, of course. We're always open.
Let's see what, if anything. Oh. Go ahead here and pick up all the good stuff.
Delivering wooden goods across the Mediterranean.
Not bad. Go ahead and put all these guys over. That's another thing I should have, wish I could have done. Is let's see, here's several that can be combined. Is I wish I'd been able to take care of that stuff too, but could I? Did I? No.
Thank you.
Magical trinkets and wonders from all
I guess
over
part
the
of me is
known
just so
world.
used
Here in
to
purple.
coming
Yes,
to this
right
guy
here.
that I just I've instinctively come to him. Oh, there we go.
You made the right choice.
Let me go ahead and pick up this stuff for sale, to sell it later on. I mean, the chance to get back a little bit of money off that stuff, yeah. Alright, let's go ahead here. We're going to continue our adventures. Hello there, mudmen. Mudman, mudman. Come on, you silly skeeter. Face the harmonious nature of my weapon attacks. Come on. Normally I wouldn't have picked up that sort of stuff that I picked up there for the from the transmuter, but I figured that go ahead and do it. Giant skeeters. Oh, that's right. The guy who needs his thingamabob.
Hey, you're real, aren't you? I am sorry. Last night I made camp in a nearby cave and I may have smoked a bit too much. I started seeing these strange phantoms. Then again, they might have been real. Really hard to tell. I'm too scared. If they are real, they probably have my pipe now. Perhaps you could go have a look? Bring it back to me and I will reward you. The cave is a bit further inland. When you start seeing trees. My friend, did you find my shisha yet?
No. Not yet, but I will soon. So, Mudman. Where is that? There was a thing. There it is. I was like, there's a thingamabob that I know I missed. Come on. There we go. Hello, boys. Cockatrice right there. And a mollusk. And there's another cockatrice. So like cockatrices. Silly mudmen. Let's go give our guy his thing back so we can claim our reward.
Ah, you got my pipe back. Thank you so much. As for the creatures, I don't want to know if they were real or not. But I better get off this creepy island. Hey, you seem familiar. Want a puff from my shisha? Best leaves from the riff.
I was just reading that. Oh boy. More skeeters. I can tell you, skeeters can be annoying to a tree as they can to people and critters. Trust me, they still try to poke you in the back, and well, it's a little harder for their proboscis. I think that's the right word, proboscis. It's a little bit harder for their proboscises to penetrate our bark. It's still annoying. This is making me want to play both Age of Mythology and Zeus Poseidon. Oh my god. If those two games came together, it would be like Age of Poseidon. Well, for the Atlanteans, I'm certain in a way it was the Age of Poseidon. Nice try there, Mudmeat. Come on over. Hello, all. Didn't want that. Mosquitoes, and then of course here are the serpentines. Serpentoids. I believe I've mentioned this before, but seeing those guys, they kind of remind me of part of the Half-Blood Chronicles. In the third book, you see part of it. You see the elves are the bad guys. They're even described as having eyes like a cat. You know, having, you know, essentially, you know, slit eyes. You try that, you stupid mud man. And, basically, on the world where the series takes place, there's reference to several other worlds. The world that the elves come from, and the world that dragons come from, because there are dragons in this book series. Oh, jeez, there we go. Come on. The world that, and I'm going off memory. I haven't read the book series in a while. I would need to, honestly. Anywho, the world that the elves come from is called Evlon. And basically, it's described as it was once essentially sort of like a paradise in a way. But the elves, with their magic, they essentially destroyed their world. They were using, and they let their feuds go to the extreme. And, so what happened, see, I know I need that. So anyway, they let their feuds go to the extreme, so much so that it pretty much destroyed their world. And the survivors that come to the world that, where the series proper takes place, they are the survivors. They're tended, as compared to the to the elves that were very powerful. These are considered to be, the weaker elves, even though they do wield at least some magic. And they decide that based on the actions of their old predecessors, the ones they were trying to get away from, in part because of all the devastation, they decide that they should channel how they feud and all that. So, they essentially develop a new system, in part based on human slavery. Then the dragons that come in. Let me talk about the dragons for a moment. They call their world home. And it's described as a world that... Don't you try that, you dum-dums. It's described as a world of extreme weather. And that there's this one particular dragon, I don't remember his name, but he, I think it was a he, that's what I'm remembering at least. Used his powers and somehow made a portal to the world where the series proper takes place. And they call this new world Hope. I mean, peace. And so anyway, it's a case of, with the elves trying to take over everything and all that jazz, is that one of the things that happens is that several elves, due in part to the war that breaks out between... You see, what happens is that elves and humans can produce offspring. Despite being two separate races, essentially, it's sort of like, in Middle Earth, like how there are, humans and elves, that you know, like Arwen and Aragorn, how they have a son, Eltarian or something like that. Eldarian. Not sure if I'm remembering the name right. Anyway, they're able to copulate and produce offspring. And so what happens is, ooh, get that chest. The thing of it is, the way that elven magic works is that when they, ooh, Crown of Erebus, pick that up. That, as a result of the mixture of the melding of human and elven magic, the overall power of the child, you know, especially if the either or especially both of the parents are strong, magically speaking, the offspring's power can be anywhere from double the combined parents up to squared. So if, you know, you got, let's just say, you know, that that two parents, they have a rating, magical rating, let's say 25. All right? That could be either up to 50, or let's see, what's 25 square? I forget. My brain is going duh right now. 625. So the elves who had offspring with humans quickly found out that, hey, we shouldn't be doing this, and, you know, this ultimately results in the half-blood human elf hybrids essentially being forbidden. Unfortunately, you know, with male elves taking human female concubines, the human females at times are able to hide their offspring in case they become pregnant, and this results in the let me see. I'm trying to think of results in a number of the female concubines trying to hide their offspring, and so, you know, after what's called the First Wizard War, basically the half-blood children rise up against their elven overlords when the elven overlords don't treat them nicely and all that. And so years later, Shauna is born. Lashana. She is a half-blood who is a descendant of Lord Dyron, the most powerful elven lord. And, you know, it was described as he was kind of young when the elves came to this world, what the dragons call peace. She is raised by dragons, but out of fear of her,
You can't carry anymore.
they send her off, essentially. And, she gets picked up by some traders, and she ultimately helps incite a war between the hiding wizards who have managed to escape And, or have, you know, the wizards in this case refers to either the half-blood offspring
Fine
Of-
weapons.
of,
Look at them, the best.
see, either refers to either the half-blood wizard, either the half-blood offspring of elves and humans, or those humans who have pre-existing magic that are strong enough to be able to, you know, challenge elves. And of course, you know, it's described, you know, humans have
more.
magic.
Delivering wooden goods across the Mediterranean.
I actually need this one over here. And so,
Don't worry.
What
long
else?
of the short story, long story short, oh jeez. Used up more potions than I thought I did.
Enjoy.
I had a
The,
variety of dyed garments.
the-
Maybe a fine robe?
The one of the elven lords, you know, this one particular elven lord is sort of, you know, a Tyrion. Is that his name? I forget. His dad wanted to go find the portal that the elves
Blessed
came
be
through,
Melkart.
even though it was thought, you know, it's not a good idea, sort of thing. And eventually they find it, and several of his competitors follow him because they want to discredit him. So anyway, Triana, I think is her name, finds the portal, activates it, and it's sort of like a serpentoid elf. It's described as like about 7-8 feet tall, taller than her, having, you know, this sort of like these serpentoids, you know, this blue, this greenish, slightly green-blue, hued skin, scaly, musty in smell, and legs that are, you know, there are some critters that, you know, like for humans, you know, you have, you know, your leg going like this. Well, basically the legs are reversed. It goes, instead of going forwards like this, it goes backwards like this. So, you know, it's literally, you know, their forward is our, you know, going forward for us is them walking backwards, and our walking backwards is their forwards. Sort of thing. And so, that's, you know, the whole description of all this. Is what I was, you know, thinking about this sort of thing, and me having to describe this and all. I need to recharge that before I forget. That's kind of a lengthy description. I mean, and I'm just talking about. Oh. While I'm thinking about it, I've read somewhere, maybe it was on Wikipedia, I don't know, that the series, The Half-Blood Chronicles, was penned between Andre Norton and Mercedes Lackey. And since Norton's death, since Norton's death in 2005, the series had been in a little bit of a, in a bit of conundrum, sort of thing. you know, what is, would Lackey be able to complete the series? But it seems that she has been able, Lackey that is, has been able to, acquire the necessary means to be able to go finish off the 4th book, which was sort of in a state of progress before Andre Norton died. And so, I'll read that series again now. But I really ought to wait to see if, let's see here. I'm going to go to Lackey's website. Let me see here. Mercedes. Ah! Her website directly. Bibliography. Half-Blood Chronicles. We'll go ahead and post this in chat. There's a link. There's the what's it? And let me see. Let me pull up the let's see. Yeah, typo time. Like I said, according to, let's see, Mercedes Lucky bibliography. Yeah. According to Wikipedia, according to the, let's see, it has been handed over to yeah, it's yeah, it says here on web.archive.org on the Worlds of Andre, a guy by the name of Jay asked if what's going to go on. And Lackey herself replied, Elvenbrid is still under contract to Tor Books, and all the rights to it and the other Elven books are released to me per Andre's wishes. I intend to start it this summer now that I am done with Disney Hyperion Trilogy, and I hope to have it finished by year's end. Manuscript to go to Tor as per contract, and will be published by Tor per the contract. Tor does not have ebook rights, but my agent intends to publish all the Elven books once ebook format through Amazon White Glove and the agency. Yeah, that'll be good because I love ebooks, as I have found. I love ebooks, and so let's see. Let's go ahead and get into the action. Obviously, it has still apparently doesn't look like it's been quite done yet. I mean, you know what? It takes a while to be able to write a book. You know, especially if it's a book, you know, if 2 or more authors are collaborating on a book, you know, you gotta, you know, figure out, you know, it's a lot more difficult to jointly write a book with 2 or more authors. Because, you know, obviously, you know, you gotta find out, combine your writing styles in some fashion, you gotta figure out plot and all that, so, there's that. Da-da-da. And, whoa, excuse me. And so it's a case of, hello there, Hydrodons, Drenches. So, you know, it can be, when your manuscript needs to change hands several times, between authors at least, you know, it all depends on how you want to write it. Or how you want to write it. You know, it can be difficult to come up with a system that allows you to do stuff, be able to make stuff get done. That spear. Yeah, trying to write stuff out can be a very, very difficult thing. I guess a good analogy would be trying to have a multi-stream collab. I seriously am going to need to write down how I do my stuff here. So I do need, because I'm wanting to be able to keep my strength going up. You know, I'm just taking a look down here at my what's it bar, and I hate when I don't get any loot out of stuff like that. The ancient one. Gosh darn it, now I'm thinking of marble. sort of glitched out here. Let me take a better screenshot for that for reference. Bandits. Oh. Ground sailors rates. Same difference. Essentially. Hello there, Ancient One. Darn it, these. Fortify up all you want, dude. So, but yeah, the take a look-see to see if might be able to get the Half-Blood Chronicles on ebook format. Money.
I have more.
You may have more, but
What else? Check back next week.
see, is there anything I can get from you?
My final offer.
Excuse me. The one I got is better, so. I think that's about
Don't you
it.
want to haggle?
The only thing I want to haggle about is you giving me money. Give me lots of money.
Sturdy chests made from our famous cypress wood.
That
Mind if
there.
I make a sketch of these in my journal?
What a curious device! This thing is the key to our fortune? And it was guarded by snakes? Ha! I can't believe it, but who am I to challenge the Atlanteans? Now, we only need the other artifact. And this one might prove a tad harder to procure, I'm afraid. You see, you need to steal a golden apple from the Garden of the Hesperides. According to the scrolls, offering this fruit to the ocean will appease the violent sea spirits that nest around Atlantis. This should ensure our safe passage. I have already made some arrangements. On the northern pier of the harbor, a ship awaits. It will take you to the north coast of Ethiopia. From there, you must find your way on foot. The garden is said to exist on the western edge of the world, beyond the mountains of Atlas. The garden is a place steeped in myth. Not even Heracles dared to desecrate its boundaries himself. It is said to be guarded by the dragon Ladon, as well as the handmaids of the gods, the Hesperides. I'm not making this up. It's all in the books, I promise.
He promises. Yeah, promise. Yes. I had to glitch myself in such a manner as that I looked like I didn't want to go. But, eh. Oh, hello. Silly harpies. Trying to get up here to the rebirth fountain. This is the direction I recall it being in, at least. Hello? Hello, rebirth fountain. Where in the blazes? There you are. Twitch is being twitchy. I've noticed. I don't like seeing the fact that on my laptop I have to, you know, refresh my my page just to be able to have things work. You know, why couldn't you have had technical difficulties like tomorrow, Twitch? I don't understand why. I'm confuzzled, guys. I am confuzzled. It's not the first time, though. Not the first time at all. Just a little delaying inevitable. Gosh darn, now I'm thinking of...
Not enough energy.
Gosh darn, now I'm thinking of gargoyles. Sea Witch. I just love being able to bash these guys. Come here, lady. And level up. Now let's see. Alright, so I'm thinking that for even levels, do a point to strength and dexterity, and for odd levels, do 1 point to health, 1 point to strength. Just a sec, guys. BRB. Sorry about that, guys, but when you gotta go, you have got to go. Yeah. Now let's see here. So yeah, it's basically 1 point to strength each time, each level. But as I said, even should be to dexterity. Let's see. Actually, we could probably get away with actually putting a few more points to stuff. Or probably doing like alternating, actually, sort of doing a like doing every other level, like strength and I don't know yet. I just realized, dum. There we go. honestly quite hate having to deal with all these technical difficulties. Exploratory OCD.
Ah, you come from Gadir. With the Phoenicians, they really do travel to every land selling their purple dye. And successfully so, even though they charge more than its weight in gold. Did you know they harvest it from the shells of sea snails? According to legend, their goddess Tanit discovered the dye while out walking on the beach with Melkart, patron god of Tyr. She noticed that the mouth of her dog was stained purple after biting into some washed-up mollusk. Loving the color, she asked Melkart to dye her a garment, and that was the beginning of their famous craft. They also sell. We Gumara also trade with them. Luckily, the Phoenicians keep to the coast, so they are not a threat to our lands. Personally, I do prefer blue dye.
Blue is life, blue is love.
Make no mistake, stranger. If you want any of the goods from our storehouse, you need to pay for them. Good.
Let's see here. No, there's the guy I was looking for. Excuse me, but it felt good.
Stranger, spare me a moment. You are taking the path to the west, right? I have a letter here that I need delivered to a certain woman of the Jasula tribe up in the mountains. Seeing as, I'm not a fighter, I don't think I would make the trip. Would you carry it? Thank you for helping out. Just, please don't go around telling people about this, okay? I can't wait for her answer. I can't wait for her answer.
Guess what, dude? You're gonna have to wait. So, yeah. So, hiya. Hello, boys. I'm now thinking of the achievement hunter technical difficulties thing. Which, given the current difficulty stuff, actually makes sense. exact formula, but I'll still take it all the same. Come on. There we go. There we go. Come on. There we go. Ooh, there we are. Part of me is really interested in thinking about trying to see if there might be some sort of set I haven't looked up to see if I can get yet besides the... Oh, look at that! We've gotten 2 formulae. Just within a few short moments of each other. Interesting. Interesting.
Warrior, do you have a moment? I have a proposition for you. I am a trader, making my livelihood on selling exotic spices to the local tribes here. I have a hidden storeroom, but somehow it has been invaded by monsters. I barely managed to escape, but now they are trapped in there, snacking on my precious goods. Would you go and clear it out for a share of the wares? In one of the caves up in the mountains, there is a secret door. It is opened by pushing a loose stone in the wall. I do not know how they got in there, but they must have followed the smell. Apparently the spices were appetizing to them as I think they were basilisks. Majestic, colorful beasts, allegedly with a great affinity to magic. I doubt they will have any affinity to a sharp blade, though.
Yeah, well, I just happen to have some equipment that kind of points in that general direction, eh? Go in. Hate having to zoom in just to be able to enter someplace. We'll take care of the what's it here in a sec. good. We got a basilisk guy. Sweet!
I knew you could kill them. You are a real warrior. Did you see my spices? I hope there was some left so I can recoup some of my losses. But first things first. As promised, here is your guerdon. Thank you once again, my friend. You are one brave fighter. Good luck on your travel.
65k in gold is very much appreciated. Oh, hello. So, cockatrices. I love being able to do that to baddies. Ah! Well, that was a thing. That was definitely a thing. For these guys, it'll be helpful to have the Shrine of Thorns there. Both of you at the same time. I guess I was wrong. This makes me kind of think back to Galacticraft and playing on Venus. Come here, dude. Like, you're only delaying the inevitable. You are merely delaying the inevitable. Can't help but think of Oberon now. you silly scorpions. I gotta see what that medallion of essence is. Ooh, that one's kind of interesting. It's time for another OCD session to engage. Hold on to this guy there. I hate having organizational OCD, guys, but at the same time, it makes the world go better.
My best goat is gone. Have you seen it, traveler? Please, help me have a look around. My eyesight is not the best anymore. It was grazing right here under the argon tree. I only dozed off for a few minutes, and now it is nowhere to be seen. Melita!
Yeah, well, the other guy who wants to sacrifice a thingamabob for it. I love seeing these guys all fly. Come on. There we go. Game was going oh! There for a sec. Baddies. actually, we go back over to here, to the one up here. That'll be easier in our overall plan, our trip, yada yada yada. And Mr. Bone Pile down there, eh? Yeah, not the end of the world. I don't remember which one of these guys is the one that leads to the what's it? To the guy who wants to use the guy's goat. So I think it's that upper passage that leads out. Whereas this one should, knock on wood, hopefully lead to the guy who wants to use the goat. We are finding a bunch of rare loot today. Wait a minute. Oh, they come together. Can be easy to forget some things. I believe this should be the one that leads to the guy who wants to do his thing with the goat. Yes, it is the guy. There we go.
Yes, of course this goat is mine. Always has been. And today is its special day. But if you are so interested in it, maybe we could come to an understanding. How? Well, a group of Egyptians have started coming increasingly close to my little camp. Take care of them, and we can make a deal. Oh, and bring me back one of their heads. As proof. A proportionally correct and generally all-around decent Egyptian head would be just great right about now.
Yeah, well, guess what? You'll get your head. And, our guy will get his goat back. Excuse me there, Mr. Impaler.
You have no more room. You can't hold anymore.
Gonna have to quickly go make a sale. Let's head back to Gadir. I know we got technical difficulty, late start. What's We'll still go to our break at the regular time, so.
Real Celtic craftsmanship.
Let's see.
Check back next week.
Sturdy chests made from our famous cypress wood. Mind if I make a sketch of these in my journal?
Go ahead. Go ahead here and get the loot, and then we can go forth and do our stuff. Come on, tree, do your thing.
Wonderful! Such a head is an even better sacrifice to the dark powers of music than this goat. Look at these horns! I'll take that, and you can have the goat. As promised, while I was waiting for the stars to align right for the blood sacrifice, I trained the goat to climb trees. Pretty sweet.
Oh well. I think it already knew how to climb trees, dude. Wrong way, dude.
You saved my goat! Bless you, stranger, for your... Thank you again, friend.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and we're gonna head back on up. Silly baddies. So eager on getting out that I didn't see the baddies. I don't want that mantle. That mantle is a piece of junk. I love being able to do that to the baddies.
letter for me? I bet it is from Okar. He always finds some excuse not to come here, but I think he's really just afraid of officially asking for my hand. He should not be. Oh well, thank you for your assistance. I guess I'll have to go to him then. I will not let petty dangers stand in the way of our love. I guess I'll have to go to him then.
Yep.
Yes, this is my caravan, with guards, as you can see.
Excuse me.
Watch out in these mountains, my friend.
Some of our goods are for trade. Do you know carob pods? You can use those to sweeten your provisions. Make sure to fill your bottles.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. The transfer of knowledge bears a high price. So like cockatrices. No. Hello. And off we go to the land of the Garden of the Hesperides. All right, let's go ahead here. I know, as I said, I know we got a late start, but we're going to go ahead and take our first break. I will be, of course, ending at regular time, 6 p.m. U.S. Central Time, because, you know, I got to be at work. So, anywho, let's go ahead and have everybody stand and stretch, get something to eat, get something to drink, use the restroom, and I'll see y'all in a few minutes. Okay, everyone, I am back. So let's go ahead and finish out our break. Let's have everybody be standing and stretching, moving both your arms and your legs. You want to get your blood flowing. Sorry, it took me a moment to go get stuff taken care of. Some of my bark didn't get fully done when I put it from the bark washer to the bark dryer. Bark aerator, whatever it is you want to call it. But yeah, wet bark is like wet clothing. It is not comfortable to wear. It is rather poor to have wet bark on. Alright, let's go ahead here. I, of course, am stretching my roots and my limbs to get my own sap flowing, which is, of course, a good thing. Oh my goodness. Stretching feels good. Alright. I, of course, refilled my 1 liter water bottle, so let's everybody get a drink of water. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead here. Let me toggle back on the main scene so we can all see. I'm going to enjoy a slight tree snack, and but I will, of course, be playing. So, let's get back into the action, shall we? Okay, guys, I'm finally done with my little tree snacks, so... excuse me. Yeah, I've just been bashing baddies along, here, there, everywhere. Garden Colossus right there. Oh, excuse me. Come here, dude. Try to do that to me, you jerks. There we go. Tree is suddenly gonna have to be distracted, so I can see. Let me go ahead and pull up a thing called Libre Office.